My pain is self-chosen. It's time to step up to the plate. It's time to face it in order to erase it. It's time to be a man and not back down. It's time for the old you to stop being pushed around, put down. I found that to be the light in life, for my new life to begin. Blame less, gain more. It's time to be found. It's time to look around and understand that what I have found is that I must understand the command to expand lies in me, through me, around me, and for me. Starting from the heart by living with heart daily. Understand this poem of poetry for motivation and success is here for you to grow, here for you to succeed, and here for you to lead a new life, a light in life that will spark a new path today to help you grow every tomorrow thereafter. Passion, power, purpose. The command to expand is what I had in me, through me, for me, by me, all in order to end the old life and begin the new life. I had to set free the desire to grow and use it as fuel to believe the unbelievable, achieve the unachievable, conceive the inconceivable. All the challenges in life I found should be followed by all changes in life in order to grow. I saw how the word challenge has the word change in it. The first three letters, the last three letters. In challenge, there is change. And then, by facing all challenges and all changes, this, I found, will lead to growth. I had to become less in life and in the old me in order to understand how to grow the new me. I had to give up on the past as the past had now passed. Every day that went by was an excuse to look back and try to achieve what I had in life, what I lost in life, what I once was in life. Those excuses kept me in the past. The past had now passed, but when I lived in the past, I never got out of the past. And then, in the end, my life nearly passed. The inability to have the capability to perceive the ability to change is what nearly killed me. It wasn't what I did in the past that brought me down. It is what I did in the present to remain in the past that never got me out of the old me. I didn't need to get out of it. I needed to get in it and face it in order to erase it. Inside me, I had to create the new me, all from the inside out. I had to believe, perceive, and receive the unachievable in order to say, yes, I can. First it was shouldn't, then it was couldn't, and then it was wouldn't. Oh, I shouldn't do this. I can't change. I can't stop drinking. I can't do this. It couldn't happen. Oh no, that wouldn't work. The excuses of the old me brought me down into death of one life and birth of another. Yet still, the closeness of ending my life happened multiple times, over and over and over again. This is what is called insanity. The passion, the fuel, the purpose, the desire, the ambition to not give up is what took me to the next level. I had to look at my life as a life that had ended, yet not a life that I had ended physically in dying, but a life I had to start over and start from the top in my mind in order to grow to the next level. I found I couldn't continue to use excuses of the past to live in my past, as the long journey down the road of forgiveness was the hardest thing to face for me. I had to face it. I had to embrace it. I had to acknowledge it, and I had to replace it. Face, embrace, acknowledge, replace. The fear, F-E-A-R, in me to change was the hardest thing I had to face. The old me wanted to drink. The old me wanted excuses. The old me wanted to blame. Yet the new me said no. Shut up and continue to grow. Don't look back. Don't focus on the past. I saw now how to tell others now that when the past feels like it just won't leave you alone, face it in order to erase it. What are you doing now to grow? Take a chance. Make a change. Face a challenge. This is what I had to do. I had to set free the desire to grow and use it as fuel to believe, all in my new self. I had to start shifting my life into a new level. I had to rise in the morning, rise in the day, and rise in life continually. Every time the anxiety hit, the depression hit, the fear hit, every time I had to face it and acknowledge it. I had to recognize stillness. I had to recognize thoughts. I had to recognize actions or lack thereof. And then, in the end, I took the traction of action and recognized results. If you like where you're at, then you'll stay there. If you want to be more than where you're at right now, tomorrow, then you'll work to get there. Acknowledge where you're at and don't get yourself down, but forever know that there is never a forever until you view the ever in everything in life, and forever delete the word never in your life. Use never as a fuel for every hard obstacle and use it as growth forevermore. There is always more to achieve, and once you give up in the never-itis, well, I can never do that, I've never done that, I'll never be that, the never-itis will bring you down into death. Jail, institution, or death is what they taught me in Alcoholics Anonymous. I understood that that would be my life. I understood that if I gave up, I would never get up and I would never grow up. There is always more to achieve. And once you give up in the never-itis, well, I can never do that. I've never done that. I'll never be that. The never-itis will bring you down into death. Jail, institution, or death is what they taught me in Alcoholics Anonymous. I understood that that would be my life. I understood that if I gave up, I would never get up and I would never grow up. I had to refrain from excuses, refrain from blame, and retrain my mind in order to obtain a new mind, a new heart, and connect the dots of thoughts between these two entities and eliminate in between the mouth full of excuses. Be your own commander-in-chief in your own life. Give yourself 5 seconds of healing. Give yourself 5 seconds of grace. Give yourself 5 seconds of feeling. And give yourself 5 seconds of faith. I had to look above for the Father that I needed in my life, as below the Father that brought me in this world was not in my life. Yet the anger, resentment, and negativity that I once had in my drinking days vanished in my sober days. I had to face it, acknowledge it, and understand that those of my past should not be there in my present if there is no love for my future. I saw this now, and I thanked what are called the naysayers. The naysayers may have been family members, or friends, or drinking buddies, or people that wanted me back in their old life to be like I was, and to fail like I used to. But the inability to think outside of the box will end ability to ever truly live and truly grow in life. This is what I understood. This is what I accepted. This is what I changed. And this is what I planned and took action on in order to grow out of. Those people that wanted me back at the bars, back in the drinking, back in the DUIs, back in the jail, they wanted me back on the path of death. There was nothing against their views of it or their lifestyle of it. But to me, the friendship was not there. The love was not there. They cared more about drinking than they cared more about my life. I had this story of passion. I had this story of heart. And I had this story of being in lockdown for over 14 years due to alcoholism, due to epilepsy, due to addiction, due to escapism. All of this came into a book of thank you to the 1,000th power. It was a story of opening the mind and creating a connectivity to the heart, and then understanding that without alcohol, without drugs, without gambling, without escapism, I had no one else to blame but me. With the fuel of addiction, the fuel of escapism, the fuel of alcoholism, it all created the fuel of excuses. Upon sobriety in 2012, after 4 DUIs, 6 weeks in jail, a car crash, along with 2 hernia surgeries, a pulmonary embolism, 4 endoscopies, 25 plus years of epilepsy from a high school football injury, brain surgery that didn't work, divorce, jail, homelessness, the list went on. I had every reason to die in life, but at this point, I had every reason to live a new life. I would ask with intent to God Himself above in my life, what was my intent to uncover, recover, and discover a whole new life? I had to have the intent, and my intent was to grow and help others. In my book, and in the changes and challenges I survived through and grew through, I showed how there is always adversity in life, and there's always fuel for growth in life. This is what I had to go through and grow through in life. I had to fake the old you into happiness in the beginning. I had to focus on saying I was happy, focus on saying I was good, focus on saying I was great. But after 42 days in jail, that being the equivalent of 24 hours a day, or 1,008 hours total, I was a new man, a new person, and new to blaming less and gaining more. I had to realize that there was more out there in life to achieve. I had to realize by writing things down in a journal and by writing things down in what turned into a book, and after 5 years in the making, publishing my book and seeing what I wrote and hearing what I said, I had achieved success. Not a financial success, but physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I grew out of the old me and into the new me. I was born again with awareness. I realized that, in the quote I have in my book, by limiting acceptance for what we feel life did to us, we then limit growth for what life has to offer us. This was a point in my life where I accepted life for what it was in my past. I accepted for where I was. I accepted for who I was, and ended all thoughts of what I should have been. I saw in the past how my pain was self-chosen. That being self-chosen through alcohol, escapism, and when the sobriety hit, the growth hit. When the growth hit, the writing began. Here at this shifting point, I began to master the moment of now. I saw how if I owned the moment of now, I would have won the moment of life. Each moment in itself, now own one, N-O-W, made me realize the acceptance of negativity was fuel for growth. I saw how fear was not outside of me. Fear was actually inside of me. I couldn't get out of it if I lived in it. It was not out here, pointing on the outside. It was in here, in my heart. I saw how the ruling figure of passion for life, such as love, was either there in my heart or the draining figure of fear and evil in my life of what could happen, what might happen, what should happen, and what is happening. All in false evidence appearing real of fear of what's going to happen was living in me. It was one choice, one option to either live in love or live in fear. Here is where I also saw that fear has the acronyms of fuel for escapism against reality. This was fear when I drank alcohol. This was fear when I gambled. This was fear when I escaped. The fuel for escapism against reality is what I embodied myself in when I had fear and tried to drink it away, when I had fear and tried to gamble it away, when I had fear and tried to party it away, when I had fear and ended up in jail and made it 10 times, 100 times worse in life. In the end, I come to you today to bring you a story of passion, a story of heart, a story of freedom, a story of lockdown, and a story of opening the mind to connect with the heart and once again eliminate that busy mouth full of excuses. All along this journey, as you listen and or read this book, you will see that Thank You to the 1000th Power provides a deeper understanding of how you should look within yourself for change and growth. The further deeper you look within yourself, the further and deeper you will develop and grow a new humbling awareness of blame on yourself that will help you grow. These steps in this book will help you take a bold chance to make a dramatic change by first seeing the chance in change and the change in challenge and the growth steps necessary to act on it. Once again, our pain is self-chosen. This is not a bad thing, but once you realize the pain that you're in through the excuses that you've created can bring you down and even kill you, you will then need, want, and have the desire to take action to change and grow. So awaken today, bring yourself to a new enlightenment, and know that the long road of the journey in finding the true new you begins with the long road of the journey in finding the truth of forgiveness. What you serve out in life, you will receive back in life. Fear is not on the outside, it is on the inside. Create the change and face these obstacles and use them as fuel for growth. And this book and this path and what you have in front of you today, that being the bold courage of love for life, will help you listen, observe, validate, and explore the option of creating a new life. LOVE. Listen, observe, validate, explore. Instead of ruining your life, you will be running your life. Use pain as the fuel for growth. The common characteristics of gratitude starts with attitude, awareness, and change. This will lead to growth. This will be the evolution of the new you. The G-A-G-E. Gratitude, attitude, growth, and evolution. Engage in the new self. As back in my day, with the psychology of addiction ruining my life, alcoholism, escapism, blamingism, everything led to leaving life instead of living life. Every day, by 5 p.m., I was drunk and or gambling. Every day, I blamed others without even knowing it. Every day, I had excuses to drink. Every day, I had excuses to escape. Every day, I had excuses to end my life. Yet finally, I woke up, and after lockdown, have this calling of my book, Thank You to the 1000th Power, helping you to understand the command to expand begins within you, for you, through you, by you, in order to grow your new self. Acceptance of the negative turns into fuel for the positive. Go now and grow now and take your life to the next level. This is Coach Stefan Rudolph, and this book, Thank You to the 1000th Power, will help you turn the FUs to thank yous.